Good morning to my dear students. I am Anurag Chobe, Assistant Professor in Department of Civil Engineering, IMT University. Today I am going to take a lecture on very interesting subject of civil engineering and the very basic subject, building construction and the maintenance engineering. Building construction and maintenance engineering. So we will learn there is a different types of a building construction, different kind of a structures we have to be construct and we have to maintain over there. Then in this subject we have what is the building, what is the construction. So the building came from the word, its name build. Build means construct. We have to construct some kind of a structure in a very special way, in the very special way, and we have to, after the decades 1, 2, 3, 4 whatever with the decades, we have to maintain over there. In this subject we have to be discuss about the different units. Let's see what are the overview of the building components. Means building components is the very basic part of the building structure, in which we have to discuss how it will be different types of a structure, how National Building Code of India have developed different types of building like residential building, hospital building, corporate building, mercantile building. In this we have discussed about the construction of the substructure, construction of the superstructure. We have discussed building communication and the ventilation. There is a building finishes, building maintenance. In overview of the building components, we will discuss about the classification of the structure, and there is a certain types of a building components. In classification of the structure, this is very important. We have to know about the what is load bearing structure and what is framed structure, in which building components has been given by the National Building Code of India. In according to this, we have described several types of a building components. Now come to the next one, construction of the substructure. How we have to construct a very basic part of the any construction of the building. There is a first we have to discuss about the substructure. Substructure means in which the soil is directly contact, the ground is directly contact to the soil. It means we have to know the substructure, yani below the ground level what we have to construct is known as substructure. Okay. In the substructure, we have to know about how to develop, how to create the job layout, how to make it the earthwork. Earthwork means totally excavate the soil from the ground. Then we have to construct over there. Now come to the next topic, foundation. You know, foundation is the very core of the building, which take all the load of the building. Either all the load of the building, it means just like a footing. We have to know about the foundation means different, well defined like a footing. Who carries all, take the load of every construction, every structure, whatever structure we are going to make. Then we have to know about how to construct of a superstructure. Superstructure means how we know that superstructure come to the, what is the superstructure, which is directly upper the plinth level, upper the ground level. So we have to construct the superstructure, in which we have to discuss about the stone masonry. There is several types of masonry work. We are going to use the brick masonry, scaffolding, shoring. These are the substructure, not these are the superstructure. These are the superstructures. We have to, for the building of the construction, build. This is very important to learn about the stone masonry. We have to learn about the scaffolding. We have to learn about the shoring. This is a very important part of this units. Now come to the next topic, which is related to the building communication. In building communication, we will discuss about the doors. Horizontal communication means in the way we have a communication means what is the communication? How we have to go and come and we have to communicate to each other with there is a different kind of a door, window we have to construct in the building construction. Now come to the windows. Vertical communication, we know vertical communication we have to make go 1, 2, 3, 4 up to the more we have to use the lift. Either we have a 1 floor or the single floor or 2 floor, we have to use the staircase. That's a vertical communication. It is very important and very interactive things we have to discuss in this unit. Now come to the important topic. We have to know about the building finishes. How our building will finish after the completion of the substructure, superstructure and the communication and the ventilation work. The building finishes over the, we know building finishes come from, building finishes will rather it will be building finishes, floors, roofs, wall finishes. These are the topic we will discuss in this chapter. Building maintenance. Building maintenance, we know how to improve the cracks if we are going cracks. Why this cracks is developed? Due to the poor workability of the concrete, due to poor manpower, due to unskilled labor, we have to suffer from the cracks. Now come to the next, we have cracks should be developed, building maintenance in due to settlement of the foundation, due to demolition, due to waterproofing. These are the several topics we will discuss in this. These are the overlooking units we will discuss in upcoming lectures. Now come to the very important part of this unit, overview of the building components. Now it's the lecture one. We have to discuss here. As per the given, we know about the overlooking units. Now come to the important topic. We have to go for the chapter 1, overlooking of the building components. Now I will discuss here building classification of the structures. Look at here. Classification as per the type of construction. Why we need the classification? First of all, you know what is the building. Build, what is the meaning of build? Build means construct. We have to construct something in according to the given references. So according in the construction in the building, there is a several kind of a classification, like there is a two types of a classification we are already discussed here, the load bearing structures and framed structures. Load bearing structures and framed structure. Look at here, load bearing structure. You can see any structure in which wall carries all the loads resting upon it, conducting its weight, it transfers the load to the ground. Its foundation is called load bearing structure. Load bearing structure, it means a structure in which all the load should be carried out from the wall. This is like a vintage kind of a structure. In the previous generation, like our grandfather and the mother, and then on we have to use the load bearing structure. Totally load should be transferred to the foundation by the help of the wall. Okay, now you have to see, this is the footing. You can see the diagram. Here is the footing. In footing there is a wall. You have to see plan in the elevation, and there is a slab, okay, we have a certain kind of a load on the slab, then you can see the wall carries all the loads, wall carries the load of the slab over there, and you can see here the load is transfer slab, the load of the slab to the wall is transferred to the footing. Now you can see here each wall is a structural member. What is this? Each wall is a structural member. Means wall क्या है यहाँ पे? Each wall is a structural member. यानी you can say here, what is this? This is a structural member. What it can do? It can transfer. It can take all the loads. This will be come in the transfer to the footing. Transfer to the footing. Footing means that is a part of the substructure, and it will like a footing refers to the foundation. Okay, now you can see here. Hence, each wall is the structural member. Normally, we can use in the low-high structures. Low-high इसका मतलब, what is the meaning of low-high? Either it is a one-floor residential building, one-floor residential building. If it will be come to the, if we will discuss about the 2 floor, 3 floor, 4 floor, then is a very risky over there. The structure should be failed out. That's why we have know about the load bearing structure is only for the low height structure. Low height structure is a very important factor. The height of the structure should be low. Either it will be 1 floor, doesn't mean. A foundation of increasing thickness is provided to spread the load over the large area of the foundation level. You can see over there. Okay. Now come to the next part. Classification we already discussed as per the type of construction. Next one is framed structure. Frame made up of columns, beams, carries the weight of slab. Frame means totally the wall in which the wall do not carry any weight of the slab. The wall do not carry any weight of the slab, and the frames totally made of column, beams. You can see in our generation, you can see everywhere is the framed structure is like what? RCC structure. RCC means reinforced cement concrete structures. Okay. The frames made up of columns and the beam, and they carry the weight of all the slab to the wall. Then the wall do not carry any weight of the slab. Then you can see next one. This is a footing and this is a column. You can see here. This is a plinth beam close to the ground level. That's a wall. That's a beam. Slab load is transferred to the load carries from the slab. The load should be transferred to the column, and then footing. Hence, walls are not a structural members. Walls are built on the beam, and these beam carry the weight of the wall. Now you can see this. This is a very important part, and this is a slab. This slab have a certain type of a load at each part, and it carries the load. Beams carry the weight of the wall. Load of the weight transported to the slab, then beam, then column, then plinth beam, and then it will be come to the footing. It means the load of the weight transported through the slab to beam, column, footing and hard ground surface is known as frame structure. Okay. Now come, what is the composite structure? What is the composite means? If I will talk about the composite, then what it means? Composite means we can have either it is the framed and what? Load bearing structure. The structure having the part of it as load bearing and the part of it as a frame, then we can call a composite structure or a structure having the combination of both. What combination of both means? Load bearing structure and the combination of framed structure. You can see in the diagram here, there is this is a slab and this is a wall. You can see wall and the load should be transmitted to the footing here. Now you can see here there is a certain, now you can see the slab, the load transferred to the beam, then transferred to the column and then transferred to the plinth beam and then transferred to the footing. The composite structure means the structure have both, either it is the load bearing structure or framed structure. Okay. Now come to the next one. If in exam very important question will be asked out, what is the difference between the load bearing structure and the framed structure? The load bearing structure means load carried by the wall, load carried by the wall, and in the framed structure load carried by the beam, column and wall. Just you have to know the difference. Load carrying by the wall, load carrying by the beams and the columns and also not by a wall. Thickness of the wall is always more and the wall is a structural element in load bearing structure. Here the thickness of the wall if less, then the wall is only used for the partition. Wall you can see in the framed structure in our house, you can see RCC, if you have a residential building, you know, then you can see there is a wall only for the partition. Floor area is less. It is very important. In the load bearing structure, the floor area is very less and the framed structure floor area is greater than the load bearing structure. We have need the suitable when the hard strata available at the shallow depth and suitable for any type of soil, either it is all loose soil or the hard soil. It is any type of a soil, we have to construct the framed structure and the load bearing structure. We have to need the hard strata. That is very important to learn. The load bearing structure we have to need the hard strata, otherwise our structure and the construction should be filled out the suitable for the less height. It is a very important, only about the 3 floors. If we are going to construct the load bearing structure, it is suitable for the less out, at least minimum to the about the 3, and suitable for the any height, either it will be 1 floor to the 10 to the 20 to the 15 to the 40, whatever be the high rise building, whatever be the, then there is no any kind of a limit for the framed structure. You can see here, no flexibility to make the changes in the structure. If we going to construct the load bearing structure, we cannot do any kind of a changes, and there is no flexibility to make changes in any kind of a structure. But in the flexibility to make changes in the partition of the wall, means the flexibility, it means you are flexible to change if the construction will done. Then there is, if you need some kind of a changes in your construction, in the residential building, in your house, anywhere, but they can change anytime in the framed structure. This is a very big advantage, but this is a very big difference and big advantage in load bearing comparison to framed structure. Maintenance difficult and costly. We can know in civil engineering, we know the economic is the very priority for every engineer. That's why we have to say the maintenance difficult and costly, but the maintenance is easy and economical from the framed structure. This is a very important. Maintenance is also easy and economical. This will be come out in your like a pocket. If you have not a lot of money, but you know how to construct the framed structure, this will be important to learn about the framed structure. Cannot resist the lateral earthquake load. If the earthquake will be come out, your load bearing structure should be cracked, and the framed structure able to resist the lateral earthquake load due to column stiffness. If the earthquake will come, we have a certain amount of damages in the framed structure, but in load bearing structure we cannot resist the lateral earthquake loads. This is a very important difference. That's why in our era we are going and construct the framed structure. This is very important. Now come to the next one, classification of structure given by the National Building Code. What is the National Building Code? National Building Code is a code which is given by the our government and publication, in which this is a type of booklet. In the National Building Code allows us how to construct the structure, what are the parameters of the any kind of a building, either it is a residential or the corporate or the mercantile or hall, anything else. The National Building Code suggests how to make the column, how to make the base, how to make the slab, what are the sizes of the footing, what are the sizes of the wall, bathroom, washroom, whatever be the. In every part of a structure, National Building Code given a different kind of and unique thing in which you can learn and talk about the different kind of a structure. It means classification of structure is given by the National Building Code, in which you can see here, first is the residential building. National Building Code have divided different kind of a groups. Group A, B, C, D, F, G and H, I. Now come to the sheet. In the group A, the building type will come out the residential building. Residential building means we have a family dwelling, flats, apartments, hotel, lodging and the houses. So according to the National Building Code, group A is in which is known as residential building. In residential building, like family dwellings, means just like where we have a facility to sleep over there, we have facility to cook over there, we have a facility to stay over there, then it is called as residential building. Next is educational. You know educational means like a school, college, primary education, where the education is provided. Then it is a type of group B. In the group C, there is a include the institutional, where the care institutes like the hospital should be made out according to the National Building Code, also giving the instruction to construct the hospital according to the Indian Standard Code 456/2000. Assembly building, you know already, assembly buildings means where we can see the assemble lot of people over there, we can see the theater, hall, etc. Business, just like mall and office complexes. Business buildings, just like a mall, is a part of a business building, and office complex. Mercantile building. Mercantile building, it means shops, store, market for the display and the sale. You can see obviously mercantile building, you can see over there. Industrial, जहाँ पे industry will be concluded, we have certain type of factory, we have certain kind of a production over there, then is a type of group H. Group A refers to the residential, group B refers to the educational, group C refers to the institutional, group D refers to the assembly, group E refers to the business, group F mercantile building, group G industrial building, group H means storage, just like a warehouse where we can store the food, we have to store the government publicity consume, where in the warehouse we have to store the lot of food and the corporation and the materials for upcoming years, upcoming days. When there is a shortage of things, we have to create the warehouses. Very important. Government, you can say over the government hazardous building means where the chemical factories are working for the making the chemicals, drugs over there, medical equipments, instruments, where that is known as group I type hazardous building. Now come to the next part. In the group A, you can see it is a type of a residential building. You can see here, you can see it is a type of residential building, in which residential building, this include buildings in which sleeping accommodation is provided for the normal residential purpose, with or without cooking or the dining or the both facilities, except any building classified under the groups. इसके अलावा we have to, there is a group C, but in the group A residential building means this include the building in which sleeping accommodation provided for the normal residential purpose, with or without cooking or dining or both facilities, except any building classified under the group C. Now you can see here, they have already certain types. Subdivision A1, in which lodging or the roaming the houses will be provided. Subdivision 2, one or two family private dwelling will be provided. Subdivision A3, dormitories like the large bedroom for the number of people in a school or the institution. In subdivision 4, apartments, house like flats. In the subdivision 5, A5, we have like we have seen the hotels. These all the things, these all will be come out in, this all will be come out in this, all the subdivision 1, A2, A3, A4 and the A5. This is a part of residential building. Okay, means lodging or the roaming houses, one or the two family private dwellings, dormitories, apartments, houses and the hotels we can include in the group A residential building. Now come to the next one. Group B. Group B means educational building. Everybody know that educational building. Okay. This include any building used for the school, college or daycare purpose for more than 8 hours per week involving assembly for the institution, education, recreation and which is not covered by the group D. Then we can discuss here group B means educational building. Yani where the 8 hours per week is important. 8 hours per week is a very important factor you have to know. Then we can say it is a educational building. Means building used for the school, colleges or daycare purpose like Anganwadi and all. Okay. Then we have know about this all this. If it will fulfill this type, then it is known as educational purpose. You can see here. Okay. Now come to the next one. Group C, institutional building. You can see in the diagram hospital here and there is a certain type of just like a bell and gel. Okay. You have to see it is also divided in subdivision part of C1 in which we will include type C institutional building, in which we include subdivision C1 hospitals, subdivision C2 custodial institution, subdivision 3 penal institution or the prison. Okay, these are known as type of institutional buildings. Yani these institutional buildings means what? Where the facilities is provided, just like this is a hospital and this is a just like a prison. That's why it is known as institutional building. Now come to the next one. Group D, assembly building. You can see assembly, we can where the assemble 10 more than 10 people, like assemble building is also divided in subdivision 1 which includes any building primarily made for the theater or operational performance and exhibition which has raised stage, proscenium curtain, fixed or portable scenery, loft, lights, motion picture booth, mechanical appliances etc. provided with the fixed seat over the 1,000 person is like we know as assembly building, and there is a subdivision we can know D1. Okay. Then what about the next subdivision D2? This include any building which is primarily made for use as described for the subdivision D, but fixed seat less than 1,000 person. Yani if it is a more than, it is a less than 1,000 person, we have to know subdivision D1. D means D refers to assembly building, and if it exists to the 1,000 more than 1,000 people, then it will be divided in subdivision 2. Okay. Next, group D. Here look at this. Look at this. Already you have seen over there. In subdivision D3, it includes any building primary intended for the assembly purpose people, but which has no theatrical stage or cinematography accessories and has competition for the more than 300 person, then it will be divided in subdivision D3. Just like example, dance hall, nightclubs, hall for the incidental picture show, dramatic or the educational presentation, art galleries, museum, lecture hall, library, passenger terminals, building used for the educational purpose for less than 8 hours per week is known as type of assembly building, subdivision D3. You can see here. Okay, you can see over there. Next, group D is a subdivision D4, D pot. You can see subdivision D4, any building primarily intended for the use as described in D3 but with the accommodation for less than 300 person is divided in the subdivision D4 part. Any building, next subdivision D5, any building made for the outdoor assembly or people not converted by the D1 to D4, just like grandstand, stadia, amusement park, structure, living strength, circus tents. You can see these all are the type of assembly building. Okay. Now come to the next one, business building. Just according to the name, you know, business building. This include any type of a building for the part of building which is used for transaction of business other than group A for keeping of accounts and the records in the similar purpose. Service facilities like a newsstand, lunch counter serving less than 100%, barber shop and the beauty parlors also included in the type of group E is known as business building. Okay. You can see also the example here. City hall, town hall, counter house, libraries, etc. In the type of group A, mercantile building in which used as the shop, stores, market for the display and the sale of merchandise. Hyderabad who sell retail, whatever is known as what group A building type. Okay, don't worry at all, you have to know about every type of a building. Industrial building, everyone know about the industrial building. This include and the building in which product of the material of all the kinds and the properties are fabricated and assembled or the process is known as type of group A building. Is just like an industrial building. Okay, in which we have to make all the kind of a product, everything should be fabricated or we have to produce. Okay, just you can see the example, assembly plants, laboratories, dry killing, pans, pumping stations, smoke houses, gas plant, refinery and dairies. Okay. Now come to the next type of building, storage building. Storage, this include any building used primarily for the storage and the sheltering of the good wares or the merchandise, vehicle or the animals is known as type of storage building. You can see in the diagram, this is a storage building, we can store everything, goods. Just like you have certain examples, warehouse, storage, transit shed, storehouse, truck, marine terminals, garbage. These are several example of a storage building. Now come to the next one, hazardous building. Hazardous, already I told you, this include the building which is used for the storage of handling, manufacture or the processing of highly combustible or the explosive material or the product which are liable to burn with the extreme rapidly, which may produce poisonous foam for the explosive. Explosive materials may be make out, then that is known as type of group I and known as hazardous building. You can see here. Just you have to see the example, storage under the pressure, storage of hazardous and the flammable liquids, storage of explosive, manufacture of fireworks. Okay, you can see these are the several types of a building structure today we have discussed. Okay, these are the different types of a what buildings that is given by the National Building Code of India. In this unit we already discussed, what we have discussed in this unit, classification of structure, divided in load bearing and the frame structure, and there is a several types, different types of a buildings as per the National Building Code of India. Okay, that's good. Now we will come to the next lecture. We will discuss about the substructure of the buildings. Okay, that's all. Thanks.